If we hadn't given him a chance, like, how many other babies are they wrong about? I'm Kim LaRue. This is my husband, Tim, and we have 6 kids. We have 5 daughters. Our oldest, Rachel, passed away early on in our first trimester. And then we have Hope, Mercy, Lois, Cherish, and then Vincent, the baby boy of the crowd. Vincent James was named after my stepdad. So my stepdad couldn't have kids, so he said I could have his extra kids. So the middle name, we asked him, we went down the list, we had a few. I know Lawrence was one, we had James, we had Michael, and we asked him, and he kicked only for James. And we're like, all right, so you have spoken your name.
Yeah.
And so we knew his name was Vincent James after that. They wanted an extra ultrasound. And so we went in for that extra ultrasound, and they called and they said that they noticed something that looked a little off with his intestines potentially coming out of his stomach. But then they told us we had to go see maternal fetal medicine, and that was just, they wouldn't help us find a provider. We had to find somebody by ourselves. So we went to the Catholic hospital because we assumed that the Catholic hospital would not force abortion like the more mainstream hospital.
I was supposed to be aborted before I was born. And that, I think, is part of the reason that I'm for life more. Since I found that out, we're gonna stand for life.
And then they had us talk to the doctor, and she said, oh, his heart's backwards, his head's too small. He has like triple abnormalities. This is a molar pregnancy. And then she went from that to, and then, by the way, you're gonna get divorced. And then your kids are gonna need mental help. She ended it with, I don't expect him to make it through the week. And so just go to the maternal unit and just prepare to have a stillborn. We kind of lost track. I think there was like 7 times that she couldn't say terminate because that went against their Catholic policy. But she sure knew how to rephrase it so she could get the point across over and over and over. And then we're told that that provider wasn't in network anyway, so we can go back, and we weren't necessarily sad about that. And when we went to UC Health, they had us meet with a nurse navigator. She's like, you're in charge. If you want him to have all the things, we want to make sure we have that available for you. So that doctor decided she couldn't make a decision on his condition based on the few reports they had. So she sent us to the pediatric cardiologist for echocardiogram to really verify that his heart really was backwards. And he came in, he's like, his heart's perfect. I don't see anything that they're saying. Yeah, he does have some intestine coming out from the side, but it's not super severe. And we fix that kind of thing all the time. No worries. And I'll see you when this baby's born.
All these things, except for the little thing on the side, they were wrong.
And then, unfortunately, that Friday, we saw him on Monday, and that Friday he didn't have a heartbeat. We read to him a lot. Tim read to him the Gospels.
The resurrection was the last thing I read, and then the next day he was gone. And so after he passed, she said, how cool is that to wake up, see Jesus, and say, I know who you are, because my dad read about you. Even though we didn't get to have him here as we should have, we know where he is and where he went, and we know who our faith is in, Jesus, and that we're going to see him again. Even if it's 50 years from now, we're going to see him. And we have that to look forward to. Are there questions I have? Yes. But in the meantime, I definitely feel that if I don't have clarity before that time comes, that I can go and say, hey, Jesus, I need to find out. I'm thrilled to see Vincent right now. But what happened? Could I know?
When I had him, I asked if my blood pressure constantly being high because of all the stress would have hurt him. The day before he died, I fought with maternal fetal about genetic testing. As Tim said multiple times during the service, love is not always an easy choice. I think sometimes you are naive and you think, oh, love is just gonna be easy. But in this case for us, loving him, even though we knew that we might not get to have him for long, we did it anyways. It was the choice that we wanted. There was really no question. And he was fiercely loved by so many people. It wasn't just us. When I was reading through John 9 this week, they were talking about the blind man, I believe it was. Who sinned? Was it him, his parents? And Jesus said it was so that God could be glorified. And so I look at Vincent's life and it's like, that's the purpose, is to glorify God. And it's just been amazing that my child, who never got to take a breath on this side, is making so much of an impact for other kids. Maybe other kids could get a chance.